Right, so today we're going to chat about Marc Marquez, who's currently giving Ducati proper butterflies. Yeah? Why is that then? Because the contract for the 2027 season still hasn't been signed. Everyone reckoned the deal was basically done and dusted. But turns out there's one massive issue that's got MM93 saying, "Hang on a minute, boss." And that issue? Well, it's the shoulder injury that's still haunting him to this day. In this video, we're going to have a proper look at why an injury could make a rider of Marquez's caliber think twice, what his condition's like now, and what he actually wants from Ducati. So stick around till the end. Yeah, everyone's expecting him to pull off something spectacular, especially with the Desmosedici, which supposedly suits his riding style perfectly. But the problem is, back in October 2025 at Mandalika, in Indonesia, he got taken out by Marco Bezzecchi. And wouldn't you know it, what got hit was his right shoulder. If you remember, Marquez's shoulder is like its own horror story. Since 2020, he's been in and out of surgery because of a shoulder injury that just wouldn't heal properly. So when he got smashed again at Mandalika, everyone was absolutely bricking it. What makes it even more complicated is that even now, his shoulder's not 100% sorted. He's admitted himself that he still needs time to feel properly comfortable on the bike again. Just imagine, as a world-class rider, you've got to have complete confidence in your physical condition. If there's even a bit of pain or limited movement, that can make the difference between winning and losing, or worse still, between staying safe and having a massive crash. Right. So that's why this contract business has gotten a bit tricky. Ducati wants to lock Marquez down for 2 seasons straight, 2027 and 2028. Fair play to them, really. Marquez is a massive investment in it. He's got the experience, 8 world championships under his belt, and he's still banging out results. Ducati obviously wants long-term certainty. But from Marquez's perspective, he'd rather have a 1-year deal first with an option to extend. Why? Because he's not sure himself how long his body can hold up. He doesn't want to commit to 2 years if halfway through his shoulder flares up again or his performance drops off because of injury. That'd be rubbish for everyone involved. And this isn't just your standard negotiation, mate. This is about professional honesty. Marquez knows full well that he needs to give Ducati his absolute best, but he's also being realistic about his physical condition. He's told Ducati straight, "I need a bit more time first. Wait until I'm properly comfortable on the bike." Alright, now let's talk about what happened at MotoGP Thailand 2026 recently. This was a crucial moment for Marquez because it was one of the first races after his Mandalika injury. And the result? Well, you could say it was a bit of a mixed bag. In the sprint race, Marquez actually performed pretty decently. He finished second, though he copped a penalty afterwards. But at least it showed he's still got the pace and the fighting spirit. Unfortunately, in the main Grand Prix, it was a different story altogether. He DNF'd, did not finish. His bike had problems, dented rim, and the tire exploded, which forced him to throw in the towel mid-race. The important thing from the Thailand weekend wasn't just about the results, but about what Marquez experienced. He admitted he still needs to adjust to his physical condition. His shoulder's not 100%, and that's affecting his performance massively. On top of that, Ducati as a whole were struggling in Thailand. Even Pecco Bagnaia said the Desmosedici isn't the fastest bike anymore, so this isn't just Marquez's problem. The whole team's searching for solutions. So where does Ducati stand now? Well, they're in a bit of a sticky situation themselves, really. On one hand, they've invested heavily to get Marquez. They know his value, both on and off the track. The Marquez brand is huge, sponsorship follows, and technically, he's still one of the most skilled riders on the grid. On the other hand, they need certainty too. They've got timelines, long-term planning, and obviously they want to know if their investment's going to be worth it or not. That's why they're pushing for a 2-year contract. They want guarantees. But Ducati aren't daft. They understand Marquez's situation. That's why so far they've been showing patience. They're saying, "All right, Marc, take your time. We get it." And that shows their relationship is actually quite solid. It's not just transactional. There's genuine mutual respect there. What's encouraging is that Marquez himself can't wait for the next race in Brazil on March 20th to 22nd. He said, "I've got 2 weeks to improve my physical condition." And guys, this is dead important. 2 weeks might sound brief, but for an athlete at Marquez's level with world-class medical and physio teams, that can make a significant difference. He's gradually starting to feel better, and that's a good sign. Plus, Brazil's also special because it's the home race for his mate Diogo Moreira, who's now at Pro Honda LCR. So there's extra motivation there. And who knows, a solid performance in Brazil could be the turning point for him, both physically and mentally, to finally sign that contract with Ducati. You might be wondering, why is this such a big deal for MotoGP? Well, because Marc Marquez isn't just any rider. He's a living legend. 8-time world champion, dominated MotoGP with Honda, and his comeback story from injury is one of the most dramatic in motorsport history. When Marquez moved to Ducati, it was a proper game changer. Suddenly, the dynamics in the paddock shifted. New rivalries formed, and the most interesting bit? His chemistry with Pecco Bagnaia. Loads of people worried they'd kick off like in the days of Rossi versus Lorenzo or Rossi versus Marquez back then. But turns out, they're actually getting on brilliantly. Bagnaia even gives Marquez advice regularly, even though Bagnaia himself was taught by Valentino Rossi, who famously had the most intense rivalry with Marquez. So if Marquez stays at Ducati long-term, that's going to shape the future of MotoGP, not just 2027, but potentially several years ahead. Competition will get even fiercer, racing will be more exciting, and we as fans are the ones who benefit. There are several things we can take away from Marquez's situation. First, the importance of health and fitness. Marquez has proven time and again that injuries can literally end your career if you don't manage them properly. He once rushed his comeback and ended up making his injury worse. Now he's wiser, more patient, and more realistic. Second, transparency matters. Marquez isn't lying or giving false hope to Ducati. He's been straight up saying, "I'm not ready to sign a contract because I'm not certain yet." And Ducati respects that. That shows a healthy professional relationship. Third, in sport, timing is everything. Marquez knows when to push, when to wait. He doesn't want to sign a contract just because of pressure or money. He wants to make sure first that he can deliver. Right, guys? So what do you reckon? Will Marquez eventually sign with Ducati? Or will he surprise us all with a decision nobody saw coming? Drop your comments below. And don't forget, if you agree Marquez should stay at Ducati, smash that like button. If you think he should retire or move to another team, comment Team Marquez and give us your reasons why. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, now's the perfect time. We'll keep you updated on MotoGP developments, especially juicy drama like this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. I'm personally dead curious about how this story unfolds. Marquez has got an incredible comeback track record, and if he can fully recover, the combination of his experience plus Ducati's powerful machine, that's going to be a deadly combination. One thing's certain, the next 2 weeks will be crucial. Brazil's going to be an important testing ground for Marquez. If he can perform well there, chances are the contract will be finalized pretty quickly. But if he's still struggling, well, we might see negotiations drag on a bit longer. What's clear is this isn't just about contracts or money. This is about legacy. Marquez wants to end his career on a high note, not with regrets. And Ducati wants to have the best rider lineup for long-term dominance. Hopefully they can find the middle ground that benefits everyone involved. So stay tuned, guys. And remember, in the world of MotoGP, nothing's certain until the ink's dry on the contract. See you in the next video, and ride safe, everyone.